So we're back down in the engine bay, and just whilst we've got the motor over and I can work a bit easier around this side, I'm going to pull the inlet and exhaust manifold off. The exhaust manifold needs fixing anyway, needs retapping here. So pulled this bolt out the inlet manifold because this one was missing. So I just wanted to see if the thread's okay or what's going on. And I think what's happened is it simply doesn't pass because of this seam weld on here. So they may have just gone, oh no, we're not going to bother. So I'm just going to grind a tiny bit of this off and see if this bolt goes in. I'm just taking a little bit off there and the bolt's past it. Now it's hard up against the manifold and won't go. I'm wondering if you release the manifold, it might lift slightly, or whether it's on dowel locators, because it seems a bit silly that won't go in. It's a 14mm. I wonder if I got the same bolt with the 13mm head, whether it'd pass. But there's ample space here, but not here, so a bit more investigating. Okay. So we slackened everything off, so the inlet manifold's loose. With a bit of gentle persuasion, you can actually get that bolt in, but it's got to be the first one that goes in. The rest will all go in once it's in place. But if you bolt everything else up first, then that one won't go in. So we'll get another bolt, and when it goes back on, it will go on with a full complement. Exhaust manifold with water jacket also, and these are the threads that are knackered. And as I thought, I've been shaking it about a lot, and we got 1, 2, 3 attempts that he must have done. I'm just going to give it a shake, see if there's any more in there. I think that's it. But they've just been floating around in there. I think we've got them all. Ugh. So now we're just going to have to retap the holes on the end, which is drilled out, and do a bit of fettling. Fun times. Right, got it in the vise. Got our drill, the right size. It was a funny imperial thread, so we're going to go metric. The hole's about 8.2, so there's nothing we can do apart from go up to an M10. So we'll drill with 9mm drill, 9.25 for an straight. Okay, really gripped a little bit on the bottom there, just as we broke through. And then M10 tap. On there. Now, of course, we're tapping. You've got the first kind of thread and a half to make sure that you straight, 'cause it's very hard to make an adjustment once you're going down a bit. Looks pretty good, so keep checking that. 2 forward, 1 back, 2 forward, 1 back. Looks good. And some oil on it. Yeah, looking good, nice and straight. I'm not worried about the head size of what goes in, because I'll probably put a larger Allen key head in. I'll obviously flush the water jacket out once this is done. Feels like it's breaking through to the bottom now. Yep. And there we go. Oh, stuck on a bit of grit at the top. One brand new M10 thread. Let's do the other two. And now we have 4 nice new threads all ready to go. We'll give this a clean up, we'll blow it out with some air, and we'll run a load of fluid through it just to get all the shards out. There we go. That was much easier than sticking all these up the inside, because it never worked. Quick update, we've got the back of the stern tube off, which carries the cutlass bearing, which is absolutely shot at, been crushed up at one end. That sits in there and then clamps up, so we'll get a new cutlass, that's no problem. So prop and rudder and everything's off. Issue I've got is the stern tube is screwed in at both ends. You can just see the end of it here, but it won't draw out inwards. It must have been screwed in from the back. So I think I'm going to leave it in, just draw it off an inch or so, clean up the face on the inside and reseal it. That's fine, but I need to clean it. So got a big long piece of pipe, welded, ignore my welding, an old chuck onto the end of it, and a little wire brush. So we're going to have a go at sticking this up the spout and see what happens.
The boat is now called Meldelt.
So we're on the gel coat. We've scraped off the entire starboard side. It has left quite a lot of dips and divots and stuff, but we're going to see if we can actually repair this gel coat. We're going to give it a go. We're just trying a patch on the port side where I'm actually trying sanding instead. So just sanding this, I'm just going to give it that's 180. I'm going to go to about 600 and then try and polish it, just see what it comes up like, see what result we can get. But we do have a lot of repairs to do on the gel. I think it's British Racing Green, which should make it easy to get a colour. But we'll give it a go, see what happens. Well, we've got a pretty good finish. There's a few bits where it's thin and you can see it's thin. We've ordered some gel to see if we can repair some of these bits. I've never used gel before. Might be calling on Anthony to give us a hand. But that's turning up tomorrow. So we're going to skip that for a bit and we're going to refit the pulpit. It does need some welding and adjustment, but I can get all the front fittings on. So we'll get up top and do that. So we're just up at the front of the bowsprit. I can see now why these were never screwed on. The angles on the feet are completely mad. I'm not going to chop these and mess about with them. So we've just turned a bit of teak down to 55 across, and we've put an angle on them with the bandsaw and sanded them, and that should, sorry for the dodgy camera work, holding on at the same time. There we go. And we'll get those with a bit of epoxy on, a bit of the Sikaflex will just pull up the final little bit in the gap. That's much better. That looks pretty good to me.
It does to me.
Obviously it's thin and you can see the white stick coming through. So what we're going to try, we'll nip back around the other side. Try a test patch. We've just rubbed it off with some acetone. Obviously you can see the damage, all the dimples in here. I've never used gel coat before, so this is just completely an experiment. But I don't want to give it a whole new coat, so I'm just going to paint a bit on, see if it backfills the holes, and then try and scrape over the top, and then we can polish the whole lot down in one go. So see what happens. This might not work, which is why we're just doing a small bit. It does look a bit lighter.
It might dry darker though.
Might dry darker. They do have two colours that this boat came in, and one of them is a darker green, so we might be getting back on the phone and ordering the darker one. But yeah, it is just a test patch, just to see what it comes out like. It doesn't matter if we have to sand this back. But yeah, we just want to try and fill the holes if we can. Okay, so now we'll just try the scraper, see if it just leaves. Okay, so it is filling the holes, but it does look a different colour. So it is kind of doing exactly what I wanted. I don't think we even need to brush it on. I'm not sure if you're meant to apply gel coat this thin. You can see it is doing exactly what we want. I'm just backfilling. And if we can just polish this off, but it just depends if it's going to dry off a bit darker. I say there was a second colour suggested, which is the darker green. This does look a bit light. I mean, if this does work, I'm going to need one tub to do the old boat at this rate.
Yeah.
Which should be good. Feels like it's
going off rapidly.
tacking off already. It was a bit of a guesswork with 2% hard. They're in such a small tub. Yeah. Let's try a little bit more. Obviously we'll only know when it's dried and we give it a sand back. The process of backfilling the holes is definitely working, so we know that's all right. It's just whether this colour is too light, which I think it might be. But I know I did see another lad do some last week and it looked a lot lighter before it's set. Yeah, that's very much green. Yeah, it might be the darker green. We'll have another look at the colour chart. But I think it's the other one actually. Which is no problem, because we've only bought a small tub just as a tester. So I can get another one over in a couple of days. But in the meantime, we can actually test and see if this works. We'll sand this back and try it. Yeah,
Looking good.
Only taking a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Bring down that new custom-made seat.
Ever allowed to see the other side of this.
No, go on, turn it around. Let's see that handy one. Oh, look at that repair. It's lovely. Oh, yeah, drop the bolts as well. Right, you come in there. This is Matt's from Boat UK. His boat, and we're going to sail it down to Preston today. Just waiting for it to float on its mooring here, and got a emergency outboard here, so that'll tell you the faith that Matt has in it. I think he had some trouble the other day when he was last out, but hopefully it should go well today. And it doesn't particularly look like it, but it's actually quite a nice day for Preston. Tell us what you're doing then, Matt.
A new outboard, not bracket, but the wood on the bracket. My last one was plywood and completely dissolved when I tried to put the engine on it, when I was having a issue with the motor. So we've just knocked one of these up out of a piece of teak I found somewhere.
It actually looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It actually
yeah.
came out pretty nice, that.
So,
And then
it's a little bit of a lean over. Let's see if we can get. I'm just going to drop the bolts in.
so now we can see if Matt drops all the bolts off.
Start with one. Nice.
I'll try and drop the camera in.
Stay.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises.
So Matt, other boat's coming out, Onward's ready for lift out. The crane's ready there for him. Oh yes. Are you ready for it, Matt?
See if all the repairs are still there. I'd be missing half a keel.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully everything's intact and it's in good order. Oh, look at that.
Can't be having that.
No, no. Less than 24 hours, Matt. It's been Jotun silver grey 88 paint done.
We'll ignore that bit now.
Yeah, ignore that bit. That's an easy polish out.
That was last night when we couldn't see.
Waterline all clean now, all freshed up. Ready for antifoul. And back in the water. Ah, it just looks so good. I love seeing a nice fresh boot top.
It's quite a satisfying thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, especially when you pull the tape off.
Oh, it's the best bit.
It's the best bit.
Some people will never understand the joys of this, Cliff.
No, the satin officers doing an office job in front of a PC. And here's us in a boatyard, dodging the weather. Working in extreme conditions, Matt, is at night.
Oh, God.
With a set of headlights off his car on it to carry on working till the early hours.
Yeah, last night was something else.
Were you using heat lamps and heat stuff to try and dry the stuff
trying
out?
to dry the boat so they could get the jolting on.
That's what you call commitment, guys. Commitment. In the dark with a set of headlights on.
2 heat guns.
2 heat guns to make sure this is done in 24 hours. And it was only yesterday we did the other video of it coming out.
It's clean off.
Yeah, you need a bit more oxalic acid on that.
It was behind the strap yesterday.
Yeah, you moved the slings now though, so you've got a nice fresh part. That's what So you don't stick blue paint all over. Rip it. I'd just rip that tape if I was you. That's it.
The colour we went for is called, this is what they had in the shop.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
This is what they had on the shelves at the marina.
Yeah. I need some of this. That's the colour you got. We'll have it.
International Cruiser 200 in a baby blue. I don't know if it's called baby blue, but I'm calling it baby blue.
There we go.
Look at that. Beautiful. A massive improvement in 24 hours. It's looking very nice. Yes, job well done there, Matt. Just a bit of anti-fouling, job done.
Yeah. You're back in.
Back in.
Probably about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Got a sensor to fit on the back. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Perfect.
Much anti-fouls we can get on in that time.
You're not going to get that done though before you go in, are you?
I don't think so, no, but that's an easy one to do.
Easy one to do in the water, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's come out well, that.
It has.
Very good.
Satisfying.